I'll call the meeting to order and ask for the roll call, please.
Councilmember Abdelgawad,
Here.
Councilmember Baker,
Present.
Councilmember Barber,
Present.
Councilmember Burke,
Present.
Councilmember Circo,
Present.
Councilmember Ingert,
Present.
Councilmember Holman,
Present.
Councilmember Mills,
Present.
Mayor Turnbow.
Present. We have a quorum. Would you please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. We have no presentations or awards this evening and no personal appearances, so we'll move on to staff reports. Mr. Feuerborn.
Thank you, Your Honor. I would ask Mr. Salisbury to make a report for Public Works.
Thank you, Mr. Feuerborn. Just a couple projects I want to highlight for April. The Sunset Lane extension is moving right along. They have the base asphalt down. They were working on the trail today. So a little bit more work, but we're hoping by the end of May that'll be pretty well wrapped up and open. The 195th Street and Dean Avenue project is also moving right along. They're planning to have that open next month. And then one final point, we lost our administrative assistant, Elizabeth Southard. She moved on to another opportunity, but we have hired a replacement, Ashley Tucker, so I'd just like to welcome her. And that concludes my staff report.
Thank you, sir. Any questions of staff this time? All right, thank you, Mr. Feuerborn.
Thank you, Mr. Salisbury. I would ask Mr. Mustine to make a staff report for Parks and Recreation.
Thank you, sir. Mayor, members of the council, I've submitted a written staff report, just a couple highlights. As far as our sports programs are going, soccer's going full steam ahead. Volleyball is playing every Saturday. Our baseball leagues, teams are practicing, getting ready for games to start in the next couple of weeks. So we're moving right along with our spring sports. Our youth summer camp's coming up, so we're continuing to interview and hire for camp counselors. So we're always hiring. If you know somebody who needs a job, we'll always at least look at them. We can't make any promises. But one thing I do want to highlight is tomorrow at Centerview, we are hosting a, let me get my notes here, an outdoor or an education opportunity expo through Workforce U, which is basically a job fair at Centerview all day. So looking forward to hosting that. Should be fairly busy, a lot of vendors there. And so just want to invite people to come out, looking for some resources and some job opportunities. Centerview's a place to be tomorrow. And that concludes my staff report.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Mustine. Anyone have any questions of Mr. Mustine? Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Mustine. I would ask Ms. Harmer to make a report for Communications.
Thank you, sir. Good evening, Mayor and council members. First, I just want to recap Friday evening's exhibit and awards reception for the Arts Commission's Power of Perspectives art competition. It was fantastic. 34 artists submitted 79 entries. We had 4 volunteer judges judge the entries, and all of the artists paid an entry fee in through our Raymore Community Foundation, and that's what funded the awards. So the awards were given to the top 3 in 4 different categories. We had live entertainment, as I mentioned, I think last month in my report. The Missouri Arts Council awarded a grant to the Arts Commission to be able to have that live entertainment, and it was really great, a jazz trio. Anyway, lots of compliments on that event. I know a couple of you were there. Thank you. And we already have the 2026 date locked in at Centerview for next April. Upcoming this Wednesday, we have a blood drive 10 to 3 at Centerview. We have a few appointments available, and I would love to reach our goal. So if you are able to donate, walk-ins are welcome. You don't have to make an appointment. So please join us at Centerview from 10 to 3. And in the next few weeks, you'll see the summer issue of the Review and Parks and Rec Program Guide in your mailbox. We'll probably be able to put that out digitally next week, so you can get an early sneak peek at everything in there. And upcoming next month, 2 temporary art installations will go in on the Eagle Glen Trail, the north and south end. And concert season is starting in June for the Arts Commission, so that will be here before we know it. Plastic bags, our plastic recycling challenge, we have less than 200 pounds left to go. So bring your bags in while you can, because I'll be taking away those boxes when we reach our goal. And we will be receiving a bench made out of recycled plastic from the Trex company. So I'm looking forward to getting that all wrapped up and that's been we've reached our goal very quickly. We had until the end of September, and we'll probably reach the goal by the end of May. Of
And
1,000
Melissa,
pounds.
if I could interrupt, because we have had some great contributions. If at the end of our campaign, if people want to continue donating those, they can do it at Hy-Vee, correct?
Yes, I know for sure that Hy-Vee does recycle them.
Yeah.
So the Hy-Vee in Belton's, where I've been taking everything after I weigh it and record it and turn it in. So yes, please continue at Hy-Vee. Maybe one day in the future we'll do this again, but it is a lot of work, and
Sure.
my office is always full of bags. So
I can attest to
looking
that.
forward to a little bit of clean, open space in my office soon. And then also on the recycling topic, it is in June, but I probably won't present next month since we have Memorial Day. So June 7th is the electronics recycling event that Saturday morning here at City Hall's front parking lot. And then the very next Saturday, we have the household hazardous waste event at Eagle Glen Elementary from 8 a.m. to noon. I know that's really far in advance, so on your way out, if you don't already have one of these, pick up a magnet that has every event, parks, arts, city, and the days that City Hall's closed on holidays, through the end of 2025. We have these out in our magazine rack in the outer lobby, and I put a few on the desk out there. So everything could be right in one place for you if you pick up a magnet. That's all I have tonight.
Thank you. Anyone have any questions of Melissa? All right, thank you. Mr. Fearborn?
Thank you, Ms. Harmer. Reminder to the council, we do have a work session next Monday, May 5th. Currently, the one item that we're going to be wanting to talk with the council about is sewer agreements on the east side of town. For some of the council members who've been around a while, you know that we have a very, very complex agreement with the school district relative to tying in to the Alexander Creek sewer. We're going to review that for the new council members. Again, it is a pretty complex agreement. And we also have a number of one-off requests now starting to come in for sewer on the east side that we want to talk to the council about, get a little bit of direction, have some discussion on how we want to be handling those. That concludes staff reports tonight, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Fearborn. Anybody have any questions of Mr. Fearborn at this time? Okay, moving right along then. We'll move on to, we have no committee reports tonight. We'll move on to the consent agenda. We have 5 items on the consent agenda. Before we move on with disposing of the consent agenda, as you see on your agenda tonight, item E on the agenda is Resolution 2511. I'm excited about this and have some information about the governor's executive order 25-03, but Chief Wilson has been more involved with that, and I'd like for him to update you all on the Blue Shield program established by Governor Kehoe.
Evening, Mayor and Council. The Blue Shield program, like the mayor said, is part of the Governor's Safer Missouri initiative. The Blue Shield program is a statewide initiative to recognize local governments that are committed to public safety within their community. Blue Shield designation recognizes and supports local governments' efforts to enhance public safety, foster law enforcement support, and encourage community partnerships relative to public safety. The local governments that meet the criteria may be eligible for Blue Shield program as reviewed and approved by the Department of Public Safety. So the first step this evening in the process, which will allow us to move forward in completing the remainder of the criteria, some of which will follow after the governing body pass a resolution demonstrating its commitment to public safety, including a commitment to reduce violent crime within our jurisdiction. Some of the other criteria, I'm not going to go through all of them, there's 10 of them, and they kind of spider web off into other criteria as well. The next one's the local government has made extraordinary effort or investments in public safety in the last 5 years, or has included extraordinary funding for public safety in the current budget. The community has active community policing initiatives in place or has partnered with local stakeholders in a joint effort to invest in or improve public safety in a significant way. The local government's law enforcement agency has a police officer recruitment and retention program. The local government has demonstrated effectiveness in reducing crime or created innovative programs that attempt to reduce crime. the local government's law enforcement agency participates in regional anti-crime task forces or has demonstrated a commitment to willing partner with some of them in the future. And we have several that we're partnering with now and will be in the future. After all the criteria is met, those 5 plus an additional 5, we'll complete a written report on how the city and the police have met all the aforementioned requirements, to include a summary of recent accomplishments and goals for both the coming year and the upcoming 5. And then after that, once we receive the Blue Shield designation, we'll complete a report every year after that that outline how all of our efforts and our goals for the that year and the upcoming year as well. So we're always going to be doing that year and the next year after.
Yeah, so I think what's admirable about it is that it's an active, ongoing program that's almost like the accreditation program to a certain degree, in as much as it's a cooperation with the Department of Public Safety and local agencies to ensure that everybody's public safety programs are robust, well-funded, and reported out to the state. We also will get that Blue Shield designation decal for our cars if we remain involved. But I also noticed that in the executive order, if we don't remain involved or we don't report, then we have to discard that decal. So I think it does keep, it'll send a message as well to our community, as well as those visiting our community, that we have a robust, ongoing crime prevention programs. And I applaud you, Chief, for pursuing this, getting it on our calendar for approval this evening.
Well, let's not forget the efforts of the council. You know, the support of the council that goes a long ways to obtaining this designation.
Sure.
And, you know, that's the governor's intent, I believe, is to point out to the council, you know, the governing bodies, what they're doing is good for law enforcement and public safety in general.
And it may also position us for
Additional
funding
grant.
as well, additional funding as well.
It shows a great deal of the commitment, not only of the council, but our community, that we'll be able to tout the recently passed public safety sales tax as a component of this.
Absolutely.
An extraordinary funding mechanism is clearly evident just recently. This was actually the second executive order that the governor signed immediately after being sworn in, which shows his commitment and desire to see constant improvement in public safety in the state of Missouri.
Yep,
So
absolutely.
we're very far ahead of a number of communities. There are some that have already passed the resolution, but we're out there in the top 20 as far as getting out in front of this particular step. So
Thank you. Anybody have any questions of the chief about this? If not, I'd entertain a motion to dispose of the consent agenda.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, Mr. Holman.
sir, I move that we approve the consent agenda as presented to include item A, the city council regular meeting minutes from the meeting of April 14th, 2025. Item B, the city council special meeting minutes from the meeting of April 14th, 2025. Item C, inflow and infiltration investigation acceptance and final payment. Item D, basketball and pickleball courts project, acceptance and final payment. And item E, as you previously mentioned, establishment of Raymore as a Blue Shield community under the Safer Missouri initiative launched by Governor Kehoe.
Thank you, sir. Is there a second?
I'll second the motion.
Thank you, Mr. Barber. Motion's been made and seconded to approve the consent agenda. Any further discussion? Hearing none, could I have the roll call, please?
Councilmember Abdel-Gawad,
Yes.
Councilmember Baker,
Yes.
Councilmember Barber,
Yes.
Councilmember Burke,
Yes.
Councilmember Circo,
Yes.
Councilmember Ingert,
Yes.
Councilmember Holman,
Yes.
Councilmember Mills.
Yes. Motion carries unanimously. Thank you. I will now move on to unfinished business. Could I please have the second reading of Bill 3954 by title only?
The second reading of Bill 3954 by title only, an ordinance of the City of Raymore, Missouri, authorizing the city manager to enter into an agreement with Big Green Turf Management LLC to provide fertilization services and tree disease treatments at municipal facilities and select park areas.
Thank you. Is there no further discussion? I'd entertain a motion to dispose of this item.
Mr. Mayor?
Mr. Holman?
Sir, I move that we approve Bill 3954, the award of contract for the fertilization program.
Thank you, sir. Is there a second?
I'll second the motion.
Thank you, Mr. Barber. Motion's been made and seconded to approve the second reading of Bill 3954. Any further discussion? Hearing none, could I have the roll call, please?
Councilmember Abdelgawad,
Yes.
Councilmember Baker,
Yes.
Councilmember Barber,
Yes.
Councilmember Burke,
Yes.
Councilmember Circo,
Yes.
Councilmember Ingert,
Yes.
Councilmember Holman,
Yes.
Councilmember Mills.
Yes.
Motion carries unanimously, 8-0. Thank you. Could I please have the second reading of Bill 3955 by title only?
The second reading of Bill 3955 by title only, an ordinance of the City of Raymore, Missouri, authorizing the city manager to enter into an agreement with Dunright LLC, the Little Sports Shop, to provide uniform shirts and accessories for parks and recreation programs and staff.
Thank you. If there are no further questions, I'd entertain a motion to dispose of this item.
Mr. Mayor?
Mr. Holman?
Sir, I move that we approve Bill 3955, award of contract for the Parks and Recreation uniforms.
Thank you, sir. Is there a second?
I'll second the motion.
Thank you, Mr. Barber. Motion's been made and seconded to approve the second reading of Bill 3955. Any further discussion? Hearing none, could I have the roll call, please?
Councilmember Abdelgawad,
Yes.
Councilmember Baker,
Yes.
Councilmember Barber,
Yes.
Councilmember Burke,
Yes.
Councilmember Circo,
Yes.
Councilmember Ingert,
Yes.
Councilmember Holman,
Yes.
Councilmember Mills.
Yes.
Motion carries unanimously, 8-0. Thank you. Could I please have the second reading of Bill 3956 by title only?
The second reading of Bill 3956 by title only, an ordinance of the City of Raymore, Missouri, authorizing the city manager to enter into an agreement with CFS Engineers to provide design services for the Hawk Ridge Park Plaza and the Parkside Dog Park.
Thank you, ma'am. Are there any questions of this before we move on? There are no further questions. I'd entertain a motion to dispose of this item.
Mr. Mayor?
Mr. Holman?
Sir, I move that we approve Bill 3956, award of contract for the design Hawk Ridge Park Plaza and Parkside Dog Park.
Thank you, sir. Is there a second?
I'll second the motion.
Thank you, Mr. Barber. Motion's been made and seconded to approve the second reading of Bill 3956. Any further discussion? Hearing none, could I have the roll call, please?
Councilmember Abdelgawad,
Yes.
Councilmember Baker,
Yes.
Councilmember Barber,
Yes.
Councilmember Burke,
Yes.
Councilmember Circo,
Yes.
Councilmember Ingert,
Yes.
Councilmember Holman,
Yes.
Councilmember Mills.
Yes.
Motion carries unanimously, 8-0. Thank you. Could I please have the second reading of Bill 3962 by title only?
The second reading of Bill 3962 by title only, an ordinance of the City of Raymore, Missouri, vacating a portion of a utility easement located on Lot 103 in Edgewater at Creekmore, 4th Plat, a subdivision in the City of Raymore, Cass County, Missouri.
Thank you. If there are no further questions, I'd entertain a motion to dispose of this item.
Mr. Mayor?
Mr. Holman?
I move that we approve Bill 3962, easement vacation for the property located at 1001 Bridgesire Drive.
Thank you, sir. Is there a second?
I'll second the motion.
Thank you, Mr. Barber. Motion's been made and seconded to approve the second reading of Bill 3962. Is there any further discussion? Mr. Holman?
Mr. Ingert reminded me we just need to find out what time the pool party is.
If there's no further discussion, could I have the roll call, please?
Councilmember Abdelgawad,
Yes.
Councilmember Baker,
Yes.
Councilmember Barber,
Yes.
Councilmember Burke,
Yes.
Councilmember Circo,
Yes.
Councilmember Ingert,
Yes.
Councilmember Holman,
Yes.
Councilmember Mills.
Yes.
Thank you. Motion carries unanimously, 8-0. We'll now move on to new business. First item under new business is the selection of Mayor Pro Tem. As you know, we generally just take nominations from the floor, and I will open that up for nominations at this time. Mr. Mills?
I would like to nominate Councilmember Tom Circo for Mayor Pro Tem.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Circo's been nominated. Are there any other nominations?
Mr. Mayor, I would like to nominate Councilmember Abdelgawad.
Thank you, sir. Councilmember Abdelgawad has now been nominated for Mayor Pro Tem. Are there any other nominations?
Mayor, just confirming acceptance from everyone.
Oh, yes. Are you willing to serve as Mayor Pro Tem if elected?
Yes, I am.
And you, Ms. Abdelgawad?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. All right, so since we have two nominations and we have to do the roll call vote as the roll call goes around, I'll just have you announce who your selection is for Mayor Pro Tem. Could I have the roll call, please?
Councilmember Abdelgawad,
I would vote for myself.
Councilmember Baker,
Councilmember Circo.
Councilmember Barber,
Councilmember Abdel-Gawad.
Councilmember Burke, Councilmember Circo,
For myself.
Councilmember Ingert,
Ms. Abdel-Gawad.
Councilmember Holman,
Councilmember Delgawad.
and Councilmember Mills.
Councilmember Circo.
Councilmember Abdel-Gawad has the votes for Mayor Pro Tem. Congratulations. Thank you for your willingness to serve in that capacity. We'll now move on to item B, the governing body members on the Planning and Zoning Commission. It says the mayor will determine if he wishes to remain a member of the Planning and Zoning Commission in the coming year, and the council may also designate a member to serve. I do volunteer to continue serving on the Planning and Zoning Commission, and if there are any others, I would open the floor for discussion at this time.
Mayor,
Mr. Mills.
I would like to nominate Councilmember Baker to serve on the zoning board.
All right, sir. Is there a second?
Can I second my own nomination?
Certainly, yeah. All right. Motion's been made and seconded to appoint Councilmember Baker as the 10th member of the Planning and Zoning Commission. Is there any further discussion? Mr. Holman?
Sir,
Well, hold on.
Real quickly, I just
Burke.
want to make sure we're correct on this one. So we have a nomination for Councilmember Baker to serve on Planning and Zoning Commission. There was not a second to go along with it unless I. did I
Mr.
get
Baker
Mr.
did. He
Very
seconded it
good.
himself.
And he confirmed him, okay.
Yeah.
Very good, thank you. And full motion motion has been provided for that. Is that my understanding?
Yes, Mr. Mills made the motion, seconded by Mr. Baker,
Very good.
to select Mr. Baker to the Planning and Zoning Commission. Mr. Holman?
2 points. You do intend to stay on planning and zoning, is that correct?
I do.
Okay. And then the other point was, I don't feel like we need another person on planning and zoning. It's been, I believe, in excess of 15 years since we've had a council member, and there's a reason for that. I think it was Judy Goff. And the undue influence from a council member who gets to vote there and vote here caused some problems back in the day. I think having you there and being able to provide that conduit between us and the Planning Zoning Commission is the better way of handling that. We've done that for 10 years now, sir, I believe. It's worked very well, and so I would be hesitant to go back to the old ways of doing things when it wasn't very efficient.
Thank you, sir. Anyone else have anything to add to that at this time? Mr. Burke?
I would also agree with Councilman Holman. I served on the Planning and Zoning Commission, and that's when the mayor, I believe, started at that time. And I think it would create an unbalanced situation here with the council, where the mayor doesn't have a vote on this dais. In planning and zoning, he does, and he's able to really lead that group in ways that are different than a general member of that group, because he has a lot of information that the rest do not.
Okay. Mr. Mills?
The mayor does have a vote on this dais.
Only on
It's
a
been
tie.
I know, but it's been exercised when we've had ties in planning and zoning. So the mayor does have that vote. He's not a totally impartial position, because if there's a tie, the mayor breaks that tie. So I do want it on record that the mayor does have the ability to
Sure.
vote.
And it is a good point that Mr. Holman raises, though, that a council member would have 2 votes on every issue. Actually, 3. Oh, that's right, yeah. Okay. Mr. Ingert, you have anything?
Just have a quick question. Is planning and zoning fully staffed at this point?
Yes, well, it will be when I make my appointments. And that's the other issue, is that you have a 10th individual on there, there's who breaks the tie.
Yeah.
You know, so it does create some issues with the 10th person on there. Mrs. Delgado?
Thank you, sir. I just wanted to speak up and say that I agree with Councilman Holman and Councilman Burke that P&Z is doing just great with you there. And I think having 2 representatives from our group would kind of throw them off kilter. So And just a question for clarification. You appoint yourself. Does the council also need to vote on you being on the board or not? Are there two parts to this vote or just one? Just to clarify.
Just one for the council member. We discussed it with legal prior to this, and it's just the one needs a vote. Yeah.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Any further discussion? Mr. Barber?
Yeah, I just wanted to publicly say, because I made a comment to, if we had a council member on planning and zoning, they actually would have 3 votes. They would have a vote at planning and zoning, then they'd have a first and second read, and the city council. We do have ward representatives on, we have 2 of them for each of planning and zoning. So I think, it's worked. If it's not broken, why do we need to fix it? And I would agree with everybody that's concurred that like to keep it the way it is. It works very well.
All right. Thank you, sir. Well, if there's no further discussion, I'll could I have the roll call, please? And a yes vote would be to put Mr. Baker on the Planning and Zoning Commission. A no vote would maintain the 9-member commission.
Councilmember Abdelgawad?
No.
Councilmember Baker?
Yes.
Councilmember Barber?
No.
Councilmember Burke?
No.
Councilmember Circo?
Yes.
Councilmember Ingert?
No.
Councilmember Holman?
No.
Councilmember Mills?
Yes. Motion fails with a vote of 5 noes and 3 yeses. We'll now move on to item C. Could I please have the first reading of Bill 3959 by title only?
The first reading of Bill 3959 by title only, an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Raymore appointing William N. Marshall III as the city prosecutor for the City of Raymore, Missouri, and authorizing the execution of the extended and amended contract for services.
Thank you, ma'am. Is there a staff report?
Thank you, Your Honor. I would ask Mr. Zur to make a staff report on this item.
Thank you, Mr. Fairborn. Mayor, members of the council, before you this evening is Bill number 3959, which incorporates a proposed new and extended contract with the city prosecutor, Bill Marshall. Under the terms of the contract, Mr. Marshall has been serving for a number of years as city prosecutor. Under the terms of the contract, the amounts paid to him would remain the same as 2024, 2025 timeframes. The only alteration would be a change with regard to a reporting requirement that Mr. Marshall would provide in January of 2026 regarding metrics for performance at the municipal court. That would conclude my staff report. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, sir. Are there any questions of Mr. Zur or Mr. Fairborn? Mr. Fairborn, did you have anything to add?
Mr. Zur followed my rule on brevity, but I do want to point out to the council, one of the items that in the past we've kind of struggled with when we're looking at the prosecutor, because it is the third leg of the stool, kind of removed from everything, is, I'll put this more flippantly than it actually is, but what does he do? We think that the new matrix will be very, very helpful at the end of the year in December as far as looking at those 7 items that are on there and being able to compare, here's what the prosecutor saw, here's the results of what the prosecutor saw. So it worked, Mr. Zur worked very, very hard on making sure that all of that was going to be reportable. We were going to be able to give it to the council in a very, very simple ducky horsey form for you all to review at the end of this particular year for renewal of the contract, which is, again, only for 1 year. That concludes staff report on this, sir.
Thank you, sir. Any questions of staff? If there are no further questions, I'd entertain a motion to dispose of this item.
Mr. Mayor,
Mr. Holman.
I move that we approve Bill 3959, award of contract for the position of city prosecutor to William N. Marshall III.
Thank you, sir. Is there a second?
I'll second the motion.
Thank you, Mr. Barber. The motion has been made and seconded to approve the first reading of Bill 3959. Any further discussion? Hearing none, could I have the roll call, please?
Councilmember Abdelgawad?
Yes.
Councilmember Baker?
Yes.
Councilmember Barber?
Yes.
Councilmember Burke?
Yes.
Councilmember Circo?
Yes.
Councilmember Ingert?
Yes.
Councilmember Holman?
Yes.
Councilmember Mills?
Yes. Motion carries unanimously, 8-0. Could I please have the first reading of Bill 3963 by title only?
The first reading of Bill 3963 by title only, an ordinance of the City of Raymore, Missouri, amending provisions of the Criminal and Traffic Code.
And I know we have a staff report on this.
Yes, we do,
Fairborn?
sir. Mr. Zer will be making the staff
Oh,
report on
okay.
this agenda item.
Thank you, Mr. Fairborn. Mayor, members of the council, before you this evening on Bill 3963 is a, for lack of a better term, a crime bill associated with revisions to the Code of Ordinances as it would relate to criminal charges as well as traffic charges in the city of Raymore. Breaking it down into 5 primary categories. The first section is going to be, or the first category would be adoption of enforcement provisions for domestic assault. We discussed this during the course of the work session, basically is adopting in provisions for jail time, fines, and required classes for those individuals who are found to be offenders of domestic assault and convicted of it. Also incorporates some language and some additional definitions for domestic assault. Second category falls into those individuals who refuse to give their name or date of birth or give a false report of their name or date of birth that will qualify as a Class A misdemeanor charge for hindering prosecution. So we're inserting information along those lines to make sure that it is clear for prosecution of those terms. The next one is going to be the operation of neighborhood vehicles in violation of traffic codes. Basically, it will hold individuals responsible for the operation of low horsepower neighborhood vehicles, making sure that there are enforcement provisions there when individuals who do not have driver's licenses or are under the age of 16 are capable of being cited or having their parents cited for that. The next one is going to be, also revocation of the city-issued registration that goes along with that. The next section is going to be a prohibition on obstructing pedestrian access across permanent or temporary driveways via sidewalks. And the last section is going to be removing a reference to Chapter 307, which will help clean things up as far as state rulemaking is concerned, and create a standalone provision for vehicle equipment requirements. This is principally associated with lights and light equipment, making sure that if there is a defective equipment, they are able to cite directly to a provision within the terms of the code. Those are the 5 main areas. Would conclude my staff report. I'm happy to answer any questions. I would note and make my apologies to both Mr. Murdoch as well as Ms. Harmer, who had to go through for a significant period of time and clean up some formatting issues in the bill that I originally submitted. So thank you to each of them and my apologies.
Thank you. Did you have anything to add to that, Mr. Fairborn? Okay. Does anybody have any questions of staff at this time on this item? If there are no further questions, I'd entertain a motion to dispose of this item.
Mr. Mayor,
Mr. Holman.
I move that we approve Bill 3963, amendments to the Criminal Code and Traffic Code.
Thank you, sir. Is there a second?
I'll second the motion.
Thank you, Mr. Barber. Motion's been made and seconded to approve the first reading of Bill 3963. Any further discussion? Hearing none, could I have the roll call, please?
Councilmember Abdelgawad?
Yes.
Councilmember Baker?
Yes.
Councilmember Barber?
Yes.
Councilmember Burke?
Yes.
Councilmember Circo?
Yes.
Councilmember Ingert?
Yes.
Councilmember Holman?
Yes.
Councilmember Mills?
Yes.
Motion carries unanimously 8-0. Thank you. Could I please have the first reading of Bill 3961 by title only?
The first reading of Bill 3961 by title only, an ordinance of the City of Raymore, Missouri, authorizing the city manager to enter into an agreement with Phillips Paving Company, Inc. for the 2025 Street Preservation Project, City Project Number 25-471-201, in the amount of $1,393,180, and authorizing the city manager to approve change orders within established budget constraints.
Thank you. Is there a staff report?
Thank you, sir. I would ask Mr. Salisbury to make a staff report on this agenda item.
Thank you, Mr. Fairborn. Tonight before you is the award of contract for the 2025 Street Preservation Project. This is the same project that was brought to you guys back in February at a work session. Phillips Paving was the lowest best bidder. We have not worked with them super recently, but in the past we have worked with them. They were good to work with, and they are eager to get started after second reading. Happy to answer any questions, and that concludes my staff report.
Thank you, sir. Any questions of staff? Yes, Mr. Baker.
I guess I've been asked this several times, but how many miles approximately will this project this year get in our?
I do not have that number on the piece of paper next to me. I want to say it's 10 to 12 miles, but I can get that exact number to you.
I saw we were going on square foot, but I know some roads are probably wider than
Sure.
others. So.
And if I could dovetail onto that, Both of these bids came in quite favorable. The curb project that you've already acted on, that we're beginning, and of course, we bring street preservation afterwards, because a lot of these, the curbs are being done first. We want time for the curbs to be able to set up before we go in, push the street into them. There is significant money left over. You'll remember that we have dedicated, if we needed $350,000 of the total amount that we had just for 58 Highway, if we need to do major projects out there. We continue to fill more than 100 potholes a week on 58 Highway. In addition to all the other things that we're doing, but we will be able to get to a significant, you'll remember, bottom left-hand corner of the big page, there were a number of roads that we would do the total streets program on those roads if we could afford it. This will allow us to get to a considerable number of those. We know, I've already talked with some of the council members on the roads that were included with those. Even after that, we think that there's going to be some funds left over. So the lane miles are going to go up considerably over what was actually in the bid, is the long answer to that very short question, sir. So we're hoping to get up in maybe in the 15 lane mile range with this.
And
with
that'll be brought to us in a future work session on what might be recommendations
Well,
once
the
we
first ones
understand.
will already be the recommendations that we had if
Okay.
we can get to these.
I got
If
you.
we run through those and then get to other roads
Okay.
and can afford those, we will definitely be bringing those to you.
Okay, perfect.
Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you. Any other questions of staff at this time? All right, if there aren't any further questions, I'd entertain a motion to dispose of this item.
Mr. Mayor,
Mr. Ullman?
I move that we approve Bill 3961, award of contract for the 2025 Street Preservation Program to Phillips Paving Company Incorporated.
Thank you, sir. Is there a second?
I'll second the motion.
Thank you, Mr. Barber. Motion's been made and seconded to approve the first reading of Bill 3961. Any further discussion? Hearing none, could I have the roll call, please?
Councilmember Abdelgawad,
Yes.
Councilmember Baker,
Yes.
Councilmember Barber,
Yes.
Councilmember Burke,
Yes.
Councilmember Circo,
Yes.
Councilmember Ingert,
Yes.
Councilmember Holman,
Yes.
Councilmember Mills.
Yes.
Motion carries unanimously 8-0. Thank you. We'll now move on to public comments. If anyone from the public would like to address the council at this time, please step forward, state your name and address for the record, and try to keep your comments to 5 minutes or less. I see no one lunging for the podium, so I'll move on to mayor and council communication. Ms. Abdelgawad, I'll start with you this evening, so I don't miss you.
Thank you, sir. I'll be quick. I just want to thank everyone for your patience with having to do roll call votes for me this evening since I can't be there. And thank you all for electing me to be Mayor Pro Tem for the upcoming year. I'm looking forward to it.
Yes, congratulations. Thank you. Mr. Mills?
Really have nothing
Okay.
special to add tonight, so
All
thank
right.
you.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Burke?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Before I forget, I wanted to, I don't know how to always say these things, but I wanted to give out my personal, heartfelt care to the family of the firefighter that was stabbed today. Man, it's a mess. You look at TV and you see all the shows where people get shot and you think, people survive all the time, but one shot to the heart and that's it. So also, on another note, I also don't recommend to go to Mount Rushmore when it's snowing, when the fog is down below the mountain, because the pictures are terrible. I was out there last Thursday, and after about 4 hours, I finally convinced my friend that had never seen it that he wouldn't see it any time that day, and we went ahead and left before the roads got iced up. But fortunately, it wasn't raining at the Badlands the day before, and saw lots of rangers and things that were doing their normal jobs, and I was kind of concerned that there wouldn't be any, so it's good to see that. Thanks.
Excellent. Mr. Ullman?
Thank you, sir. One thing, we have 25,000 plus great citizens in this community, but there's always select few that really set themselves apart. And they take care of this city by their deeds and actions, much as the rest of us take care of our family and our home and our yards. And one of those individuals is sitting in the audience tonight, and that's Mr. Mike Wilson. In addition to serving as a volunteer for the city, he was a big help in the Easter egg hunt. Mr. Mustine let me know. I think he said he worked off his posterior was the exact quote. And so thank you, Mike Wilson. A lifetime of dedicated service prior to this with KCMO-PD and now here. We are lucky to have him around, sir. My kudos. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Engert.
I'd like to say congratulations to my fellow city councilman representing Ward 4. Sonia, I'm real happy to see you accept that, and you're going to be great. And that's about it for tonight.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Barber.
Thank you, Your Honor. I would congratulate Ms. Abdel-Gawad as well, and thank you for your service on the Parks Board. And I know there's a lot of boards and commissions that you're involved with, and your calendar gets very full. If you don't know that, just try to get a hold of him sometimes. He's like, I'm just getting ready to go into a meeting. So it's lots of meetings, but thank you for that and appreciate your service.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. Mr. Circo.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Yes, I'd like to say it's be a great honor, the Blue Shield designation resolution. It'd be a fantastic way to go. It improves and everything, adds to our PD and our safety and protection of the city. I'm all for 100%. So that's going to be, I look forward to that moving forward. I hope that works out very well. Being a family member of 2 generations of firemen, Kansas City, having great personal friends, and some died on the job, I can tell you it's a sad day for this fireman to lose his life in the way he did. And all I can say is first responders are out there doing their jobs every day. It's so sad and so dangerous for our PD, for the fire, paramedics. It's just a really sad time that someone would do something so tragic, and no one really ever know why. But it's a sad time for that. I think congratulations, Councilwoman Abdel-Gawad, on your vote for the Mayor Pro Tem. And I think that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Baker.
Thank you. I just first want to compliment Mrs. Harmer, staff, and then the Raymore Arts Commission. I was actually at the art festival, I guess, Friday night. Mr. Mayor and his wife was there, and my family was there. But a world-class event, really, just the way it was organized, the food that was available, a cash bar, the entertainment, just the level of what that was over at Centerview. I think that's something in its second year to be at that level in its second year. Looking forward to what the third year will be about, and hopefully we get more artists. I'm impartial to photography because I do it all the time, and the table I was sitting at had a bunch of photographers, so we were talking about old school stuff and all that. But just compliments to everyone involved in that. I think that's something that if you haven't taken part of it, put it on your calendar for next year, and quite worthy of that. And then just from a note of excitement, page 14 in our packet in the financials, now we have a section, a fourth fund that will be recorded, the Public Safety Sales Tax Fund. So that's kind of exciting to see that in the packet. I do go page by page and line by line looking through that and notice that was there now. Not active yet until we get things going with the sales tax collecting and all that, but I think that's just progress for our police department, and it shows where we're committed. Thank you.
No, thank you, Mr. Baker. And I totally agree with you. The Arts Commission and Melissa did a great job putting that together. Several of the pieces of the art are here with us this evening, hanging on the wall that are being displayed. It was a great turnout. My old boss from Hallmark Cards actually is a photographer and had several pieces on display there. It was fun reconnecting with him. And so anyway, great job on that. And thank you for the magnets. That reminds us all of what the events are. Please, if you haven't gotten one, get one. It's a great reminder of upcoming events that are going to occur here in our city throughout the summer months. Congratulations to Ms. Abdel-Gawad on her selection as Mayor Pro Tem. I look forward to serving with you in that capacity again. Let's see. Well, we gave thanks to Mr. Wilson. I'd also like to thank another member of the audience this evening, too. Again, thank you, Mike, for your work the other day and your continued work on the park board. But leaving our Planning and Zoning Commission is Mr. Peterman, Jim Peterman. He's here this evening. Served as the Secretary of the Planning and Zoning Commission. Unfortunately, is leaving the community and moving out. It'll be tough making as good a selection as we have in him. Jim, thank you for your service to this community. You're always there when we ask for you to be there, and you're a good man. Like I said, I hate to lose you, but I understand family. I really do. So thank you for your service, sir. And I don't have anything else this evening, and we don't have a reason to move into executive session.
We do not, sir.
So I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
Mr. Mayor,
Mr. Holman,
I move that we adjourn this April 28th, 2025 meeting of the Raymore City Council.
thank you, sir. Is there a second?
I'll second the motion.
Thank you, Mr. Barber. Motion been made and seconded to adjourn from this session. Could I have the roll call, please?
Councilmember Abdel-Gawad,
Yes.
Councilmember Baker,
Yes.
Councilmember Barber,
Yes.
Councilmember Burke,
Yes.
Councilmember Circo,
Yes.
Councilmember Ingert,
Yes.
Councilmember